Hey guys, and welcome back to another Way You Say podcast. It's been a while. I've had a little break, and now I'm back. This video should have been done a while ago, but busy schedules on who's featuring in this upcoming episode has some busy schedules, so it got pushed back, but it's finally here, so you guys can finally enjoy it. It's a part of the whole promoting Asian talent, I guess, if you want to put it like that. But yeah, check it out. It's going to be a very interesting one. A she's an owner of a clothing brand, Gome Clothing. I don't know if you would have ever heard of it before. She has been doing this for a number of years, and she has her store, and a number of people have been purchasing her stuff. So check it out, enjoy the episode, smash the like button if you do enjoy what you're about to see. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the episode upcoming. Well, first of all, Latisha, welcome to What You Say podcast. It's been kind of what? Let me see. I'm 20. You would be 23?
Three next week,
23?
actually. Yep,
Next week?
23 next
Okay.
week.
23. And St. David's shut. Well, you left St. David's at 2008. So I don't know my math quickly, but that was the last time, I guess,
Yeah,
that
pretty
I was
much.
really spoken to you. Um, Obviously that's how I have my affiliations with you. But obviously I was seeing some stuff that you would have had on your, like, you were on CBC, if I'm correct, with the
Yeah,
entrepreneurship stuff. And they were talking about these when you were at Springer, if I'm correct.
yeah.
Right. And you've now been doing this for a number of years. You now have Gome Clothing, which I just recognized as I was going through your profile here. You had a store in Sky Mall.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. It was always in Lanterns Mall.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But well, first of all, that's where you can get your stuff from Gome Clothing, guys. Um but where did the idea? Because when I first saw on the same CBC program, it was just that you were doing art or what or something, if I'm correct. You would like
The
what?
CBC interview was mainly about the six-term program at Spring Memorial. So we were one of the first schools to offer entrepreneurship as a key subject. And they just did the interview with a lot of students that would have taken that course to figure out, how it was helpful to them. Have any of us started any businesses from the program and what's not? Well, me being a part of that program at the time, I had already started Gome Clothing. So they were interested then to know, okay, how did this program help you as an already established entrepreneur?
Oh, okay. You're the Miss Latisha King, so I just want to try to find out the origin, at least, or the background of Gome Clothing, because where the name come from, first of all, and then like where the idea to come for Gome and doing these shirts, where that all come from.
Okay, so I am an artist. I do graphic design as well. So when I realized that I was into art and more so the graphic design field, I was in second form at the time. And during a lunch break, I was just drawing, and I'm more of an abstract artist than anything else. So I was drawing these letters, and there were some really weird letters. I will probably draw them and attach an image for you so you can include here. But I drew these letters, well, what I know now as letters, and I tried to pronounce them, and they pronounce Gome, Gome. So I was like, okay, this is pretty creative. This is different, and I just ran with it from there. So again, as I attach the image for you, when you see that, a lot of my friends in the class, they were like, okay, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, those badges and pins that people used to put on their
Yeah,
bags and
yeah,
ties and whatever, those are popular.
yeah.
So that's how Boom started. I then put that same print, I did it on the
Mm-hmm.
computer, printed that into badges. That's how it started. So I remember I came to dress day that same day. I walked in with 30 badges in the same sealed off plastic bag.
Mhm.
And I didn't get past the gate without the badges. They all sold out right there. And I was like, wow, okay.
Wow.
I brought these just for my class. And other people within the school were buying them. So week after week, I was restocking and selling these badges. And then it went on to be like, okay, somebody wants this on a t shirt, somebody wants this on a sweater. And then it's just like to order. And then I spent more time then developing more designs. And yeah, I printed the designs as collections rather than to order. And it just pretty much blew up from there.
Well, clearly it blew up because now you have 922 followers as I'm looking at your page right now. I mean,
Yes.
there's a variety of designs as you can see. You have the one that's in blue, and then there's like the one that's in gold. I mean, geez, I mean, there's a lot of designs, and there's some pretty well known people across Barbados that are wearing these clothes as
Yes.
well. So I mean that's you're doing well on that front at least. And I mean, as you said, you're doing collections, and I remember looking at this for a couple of years back, and I saw it, and I was like, I need to get one of those. I still have to get one, but
Yes.
I need to get myself sorted out, and I will get one. Probably one of the black hoodies because those are. I'll put a picture up, so you guys can probably see one of the black hoodies right now because I like those a lot. And yes, you guys can go to Lanterns Mall, their Platinum Look boutique,
Yep.
right? You can get some. But just straying away from that, you say you do graphic design. Is that besides apart from Gome clothing, is have you done like some other like professional work? Because you just said you were in a meeting, so I'm guessing that
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
are
my
that is your
full
full
time
time job.
job, only recently I work with Barbados Light and Power. So my plan from here is to go to graduate school and continue to do entrepreneurship at a graduate level.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm working with them to get just the corporate experience. A lot of these schools that I'm looking at, they expect 2 years experience, the least. And I need to just get that outside of, being an entrepreneur because I'm learning so much more to business and the corporate world working with like I'm part at the moment. So yes, I have done other work as a graphic designer. I spent a lot of time in New York as well. Most summers I would go overseas and use that time to network and build Gome and what's not. I have family that live over there, so they would help facilitate with that. I have a very close friend that works in venture capital, and just getting those connections and meeting those people, I would have built a website for them, built logos for them. I've done a lot of work for a lot of large corporations in the US and in Barbados as well.
Oh well, I mean that is oh, that means you really are expanding your horizons as you speak, and then I mean
Yeah, for
you have to just
sure.
keep going, and I mean of course it could be even bigger, and who knows, like you could get celebrities like big top name celebrities buying these clothes because I mean this could be a really top tier clothing brand. We all how it's organized and set up, and
Mhm.
the way how you are going about dealing with the business. But I mean, as you said, I mean, you didn't do as much as you just mentioned in terms of graphic design, and you want to do into entrepreneurship. So, besides clothing, what else would you want to venture in or try to get into as you go on besides clothing?
Okay, well, the plan is to become a serial entrepreneur. And as a creative, I see myself doing like consulting, I see myself doing photography, videography, because a lot of the pictures and videos that you would see on my page, I would have shot myself, I would have edited myself. Um, I don't limit myself, and I wouldn't say that this is just what I'm going to do and this is where I see myself going because being a creative, you don't really plan for things. Things just
Yeah.
happen, and as things pop up, and I'm somebody that I guess they can spot trends from afar and maybe like capitalize on it in the early. So for me, I just know that I will be a serial entrepreneur, and I could list 10 businesses now that I expect to get into, but within the next 5 years, it might increase to 20. So, for now, I'm looking into getting into consulting, so helping people to build business plans and what's not, increasing the graphic design, the videography, and the photography aspect of my talents. And continue with Gome clothing for sure.
Well, I mean, all the best in that side of everything that you want to be an entrepreneur like that.
Yeah.
But no, I don't want to focus too much on just your work side of everything because I mean sometimes you do need a break from work, and in that sense, on your personal page, you I don't know if it was a year or two ago now that you would have already started seriously going into tennis. If it
Oh,
is, but
yes.
like that is a hobby of yours. So you let some like because obviously people tend to know businesses, but they don't tend to know the people that are behind them. So I
Hmm.
just want to get into that and let like the viewers get to know you a bit. I mean, obviously there's tennis, but what other hobbies and stuff do you like enjoy to do and stuff?
My other hobbies would be traveling. I like hiking. I like going to the beach, although I don't go very often. It is something that I like to do. I like driving. I like anything that's fun, like bike riding, running, exercising, um, buggy carts, go karts, anything like that. Those are my type of hobbies, just fun and outgoing.
Well, and with tennis, you were if you aren't on it still on the UE team, if I'm
Yes, please.
correct,
I'm still a
right?
part of the UE
And
team.
right, and that was so. Would you say that that is something that you would take? I don't know. Aside from just being the entrepreneur, would that be a s- lower class like competitive sport that you would want to get into? Not fully professional, but semi-professional maybe. I guess.
Of course, if I could become a professional tennis player along with everything else that I've got going on, I would say I've made it. Because I do enjoy tennis so much. Is like one of my greatest passions. And for me, I train maybe 3 times a week with tennis, and that's not even optimal for me. I want to play tennis every single day. So right now that the UE season has ended, I am, really missing tennis. But to mention or to give more information on the tennis, when I travel, I do play tennis. I would have won a tournament last year
Well,
in
congrats.
Connecticut. So if I could get further with it, I would. But to become very professional or to become a professional tennis player, you would have needed to start in much earlier.
Well,
So I'm just
yeah.
taking it as it goes or comes.
Well, fair enough. And moving on to, I guess, a bit more of some serious topics. I mean, recently there was the whole matter with the Black Lives Matter and all that, and
Mhm.
obviously COVID-19. So I'll just touch on Black Lives Matter first. And I asked, as I did with the previous interviews I've done with entrepreneurs, with them, how do you see yourself incorporating, Black Lives Matter into Gome clothing and everything that you are doing with entrepreneurship?
Funny that you mentioned that because my next collection is actually going to be a design catering to or highlighting the importance of Black Lives Matter and all that's been going on. So right now, what I've been doing is just like working in partnership with a lot of the photographers that would have taken pictures, and these would be photographers overseas, obviously, photographers that would have taken pictures of the protests and what's not, just trying to figure out, okay, is this a free image that I can incorporate into my design or do I need to pay for it? So that is the process that we're at right now. But the design is going to be, I guess I can give a little teaser of it. Um, so the Wall Street Journal is something that I would have followed
Yeah.
a very long time because I'm into stocks, I'm into business, all these different things. So the 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 yeah, the thought process of this design, we're going to rename or name this design the Gome Street Journal. So that's the Gome
Okay.
Street Journal,
Okay.
and it's going to just include a lot of images from the. It's supposed to look like a newspaper article in a sense. So it's going to include a lot of the black and white, even colored images that photographers would have taken. And we're going to include like pictures of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all the other black lives that would have been taken, and just try to create something very positive out of everything that's been going on. And right now I'm catering to the Barbados market, more
Yeah.
so than outside. So those that I wouldn't say that we are not affected by it, but just to highlight it even more so, I want to just put this design on there, and even through this design, hope that I can influence some of the brands to use their platform to bring more light to what is going on in the world, because we all are affected by it, black or white.
Yep, definitely for sure. We all are affected by it, whether it may be a little bit or as major as it is in America or even in Europe. But I mean, you mentioned getting in touch with overseas photographers, and I know that in Barbados it is a bit challenging. As I talk to a number of other persons as well, they kind of do struggle with getting to put themselves out there and getting hold of some of these same photographers and some other entrepreneurship help or whatever it is. And so, what advice would you give first of all before you touch on COVID-19, that side of everything, to the younger entrepreneurs and the current entrepreneurs that are maybe around your age and that may be trying to get a hold? Because some people may be wondering how can they really get out there and get a hold of these same photographers and branch yourselves out there and meet new connections and whatever it is.
For me, it starts with a question or an approach to the person. All I
Mm-hmm.
really do is maybe find the Instagram page and contact them via direct message or use their
Mm-hmm.
email or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
As much people as you can reach out to. If you reach out to 100 people and you only get back 2 responses, those are 2 people worth working with. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's better than 0 people or whatever. So you find, I don't know, I would have reached out to maybe 15 photographers and I got back responses from 10 of them. They're all
Mm-hmm.
interested, because once you develop a plan, I would suggest developing a plan first. Know the direction that you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to take. Know how this person is going to help you, because you don't want to be approaching people and then you need to figure out, what's going on, or okay, I have you, so now let me plan. A lot of these people are people that are already established, and if you're bringing a creative idea to them that they can get involved in, I can guarantee you that they will jump on board, even if it's just for networking purposes or whatever. Because me, I'm not able to, you know many designers overseas that I would have admired their work, I would have liked to get them design something for Gome. I cannot afford it because a lot of these people charge like 750 US and what's not. And I'm like, okay, in my head I'm just converting that to Beijing, but 750 to
Yeah.
them is just 750, you
Yeah.
know? So for me, I've been networking a lot with people, building relationships first, and
Yeah.
then allowing them to see the creativity and all the plans that I've got, and then we make the next step together.
Well, I mean, that is take it from her advice, guys. I mean, she would have been doing this for a number of years now. But just moving on to COVID, I mean, obviously, everybody in the world was affected by it, no matter who it was. Even the highest and the richest people were affected by it. So, how did it affect you, and how were you able to still, keep producing Gom clothing, and how were the sales affected, and all that?
Alrighty, so Gome Clothing has been impacted tremendously by this whole COVID situation. If you look on the page, our last
Hmm.
release would have been 2018.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yes, 2018 would have been our last release. Now, 2019, we would have taken a step back to just plan and figure out, because I wanted to venture off from just the t-shirts, the sweaters, and the hoodies. I would have still be doing those, but I wanted to get into like cargo pants and jeans pants and,
Hmm.
dress shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve, whatever. So I was using that time to save up all my designs or whatever, network with fabric designers and people that can actually draw my ideas for the pattern or the style of the shirt or whatever. That was what 2019 was. So when 2019 came to an end, I had all these plans in place, and then COVID came, and COVID would have gotten to a lot of these people before it even hit Barbados. So trying to get, say I would have put in an order, perfect example, I would have put in an order for some things on, I think it was January 19th. And this would have been a manufacturer in China. And, even coming up to, it was October or so, that they were, recognizing the cases were growing down there.
Hmm.
No, I'm talking trash. This is I hope you edit this out. I'm talking okay, so actually I'm right. Coming up to the end of
Yeah.
2019, I had all these plans in
Yes.
place. So then
Mm.
2020, right? When 2020
Right.
swung by,
Yes.
January I would have been ready to just move forward with everything. And then, they weren't able to produce anything. And even if they could, I couldn't get them here, you know, because my mom, she would travel pretty often for her clothing store, which is Plan Malak Boutique in Lazarus Mall. She would travel and she would bring in my stuff for me. So not being able to get those things here would have, dramatically impacted the business. So we had no collection for the whole of 2019 because we took the year to plan, and then for 2020 up until this date we still haven't been able to release anything because we are unable to get the stock here. So sales then obviously declined because you have no stock to sell. The last collection would have sold out pretty well. We only have maybe like 10 pieces remaining. And, it's just like everything is for a reason because I've also been able to use this time to even do more planning, do even more networking and what's not.
So I mean, obviously, COVID would have affected you as you just said. But how are you looking to bounce back from all of that and looking to counter that and get back on the map? Because no, you said you would have had more time to plan and really strategize and organize yourself. And I mean, some of the other interviews I had, they also have a number of stuff coming out that would have been affected. So how are you going to really go about strategizing and using this strategy that you developed to come back even stronger now that COVID-19 is probably hopefully on the decline?
Okay, so the plan then is to just find different ways to implement all the plans and strategies that I would have came up with. So I would have started printing here, but because of the bulk and the numbers that I started to produce, I had to stop and then import those. So for me, I am pretty much stuck until this whole thing subsides. You know,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's something shocking. I mean, any other advice what would you say to persons that are looking to get some stuff from Gome Clothing? What can they already expect? Like some of the designs, maybe, or can they still, if they go on your page after this interview, what are the pieces that they can expect to go and grab out of those last 10, really?
Well, we have no hoodies for sure. Hoodies are the quickest thing to sell out. So anytime that you see Gome Clothing release a hoodie or hoodies, please grab them ASAP. We have sweaters remaining and we have some t-shirts. The sweaters that we would have now are from the last collection, which is the Gome Feel. Those are Chanel patches that we would have applied. And the other design would be the gold one with Gome at the front and the definition of Gome on the back of the sweaters and t-shirts or whatever. And then there's one sweater of a Gome abstract collection that we did.
Okay. Well, I
Yes.
mean, those are all the collections, guys. I want to just say thank you, Latisha, for joining me today on Way Say Podcast. It
Yeah,
was a
thank
pleasure
you for
to
having
speak.
me.
No problem. It was a pleasure to speak to you after what I still haven't done the math and I still can't calculate that. For a number of years now that I would have been out going to school with you. So I mean,
Yes.
guys, please check out Gome Clothing. It is, as she said, and as I said, Platinum Look Boutique in Lanterns Mall, and there's still 10 stuff remaining from different collections, guys. So please go and grab your Gome Clothing pieces, guys. Once again, as I said, thank you for joining me, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe, like, hit the like button down below, and I will see you guys for another video.
And don't forget, follow Gome Clothing.
Yes, definitely. Please follow Gome Clothing. The links will all be in the description down below.
Alrighty.
Yes, thank you.
No.